History is written by the survivors, but what about those who never came back? From ghost ships found sailing with no souls on board, to legendary explorers swallowed by the Amazon jungle, some expeditions don't just fail, they vanish. Today, we're opening the declassified files on 5 legendary expeditions that disappeared into thin air, leaving behind mysteries that science still can't solve. Number 5 will make you question everything you know about the ocean. Story 1: The Final Flight of Amelia Earhart. In July 1937, Amelia Earhart was on the verge of making history as the first woman to fly around the globe. She was a national hero, a symbol of courage. But as she flew over the vast, empty Pacific Ocean toward Howland Island, something went terribly wrong. Her last radio transmissions were frantic, filled with static. She reported being unable to see the island and running low on fuel. Then, silence. The United States launched the most expensive search and rescue operation in history, scouring thousands of miles of ocean. They found nothing. No plane, no raft, and no trace of Amelia or her navigator. Did she crash into the sea? Was she captured by enemies? Or did she survive on a remote, uninhabited island, waiting for a rescue that never came? To this day, the Pacific keeps its secret. Story 2: The Vanishing of the USS Cyclops. The year was 1918. The USS Cyclops was a massive Navy collier, over 500 feet long, carrying 300 souls and a heavy cargo of manganese ore. It was a giant of the seas. In March, it departed the Caribbean, heading for Baltimore. It never arrived. Somewhere inside the infamous Bermuda Triangle, the ship disappeared. There were no storms reported that day. No SOS calls were ever sent. It's as if a giant hand simply reached down and pulled the ship into the abyss. Over a century has passed, and not a single piece of debris, not a life jacket, not a piece of wood, has ever been found. The USS Cyclops remains the single largest non-combat loss of life in U.S. Navy history, and its disappearance is the heart of the Bermuda Triangle legend. Story 3: Percy Fawcett and the Lost City of Z. Percy Fawcett was a world-famous explorer who believed a golden city existed deep in the Amazon. In 1925, he entered the jungle with his son and a map. They were never seen again. Over the next century, hundreds of people died trying to find them. Did they find the city, or did the jungle find them first? The Amazon remains silent. Story 4: The Frozen Nightmare of the Franklin Expedition. In 1845, Sir John Franklin set sail from England with 2 of the most advanced ships in the Royal Navy, the Erebus and the Terror. Their mission was to find the Northwest Passage. They were packed with 3 years of food and the best technology of the Victorian era. But the Arctic is a cold, indifferent killer. The ships became trapped in a massive grip of ice. For years, the world heard nothing. When search parties finally arrived years later, they found a nightmare. Abandoned lifeboats filled with silver spoons, but no food. Graves of men who had died of lead poisoning and scurvy. And most terrifying of all, evidence that the desperate survivors had turned to cannibalism in their final frozen days. The ship stayed lost for over 160 years, finally discovered in the deep, icy waters, perfectly preserved ghosts of a mission gone horribly wrong. Story 5: The Mystery of the Mary Celeste. On December 5th, 1872, The crew of the Dei Gratia spotted a ship drifting aimlessly in the Atlantic Ocean. It was the Mary Celeste. When they boarded the vessel, they expected to find a scene of carnage. Instead, they found a mystery that defies logic. The ship was in perfect condition. The sails were set, the crew's clothes were dry in their chests, and there was enough food and water for 6 months. A half-eaten meal sat on the table, but the ship was a ghost. All 10 people on board, including the captain's wife and young daughter, were gone. No signs of a struggle, no signs of a storm. They had simply walked away from a perfectly safe ship in the middle of the ocean. Why would a captain abandon his vessel? What could be so terrifying that 10 people would jump into the dark Atlantic with no hope of survival? The Mary Celeste remains the ultimate ghost ship, a riddle that history may never solve. These expeditions reminds us that despite our technology and our courage, there are parts of our world that remain wild, mysterious, and dangerous. Traces are left behind, but the truth remains in the shadows. Which of these mysteries do you believe has a logical explanation? Or are some things just not meant to be found? Let us know your theories in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, hit the like button and subscribe to Dark Trace for more declassified history. Until next time, stay curious. This is Dark Trace. Stay vigilant.